Want to see how I transformed this cute little Dollar Tree purse? I'll show you step by step how I did it in 3 different ways. I can't wait to show you. Watch to the end to see how.
Hey guys, it's Susie Lee with Bellalina Boutique. Come on in. How are you? Happy Monday. Woo! It's Monday. Come on. I'm working up here a little bit today, doing a few things, trying to get ready for tonight. I hope you're going to enjoy this little live. It's you ever go to the Dollar Tree and you see these little, well, let me just show you. Got a couple right here. You ever see these at the Dollar Tree? These are so cute. These are little ceramic little purses. And I imagine you can do all sorts of fun things, but I thought, hey, you know what? Valentine's Day is coming up and Easter's coming up, you know. A tisket, a tasket, a little Easter basket, right? How cute would that be? Mother's Day is coming after that. And you know what? I mean, even summertime, you know, it'd be a cute little summertime. So anyway, we're going to be working with some Form Flex. We're going to be working with some paint pens. We're going to be working with all sorts of things and a little bit of Totally Dazzled. Because you know I got Totally Dazzled still. I have it until the cows come home. But anyway, so I'm going to just move a few things around here so I can show you what we are going to do. I saw today in my I was looking through Pinterest actually today, and I saw a purse that was similar to this. Very similar. I don't even remember how much it was. I have no idea. But I clicked on it, and guess what it was? Temu. It was a Temu purse, but it was a lot cuter than this. And I looked at it, and I said, I think I can do that with some Form Flex. If you've never worked with Form Flex, Miss Tammy Yaw is the owner of Form Flex. I had the privilege and honor of meeting her at in St. Augustine at the Swag Maker event. And it was so good to meet her because she is just the sweetest, most darling lady you ever want to meet. And she has such a product. I love this product. I'm not an affiliate, but honestly, she is like amazing. And it smells sweet, almost sweet enough to eat. But it's so, I'm just going to show you the texture of this. Do you see how soft that is? It's just like butter. It's so soft, and when you put it in your molds, it gets down every little nook and cranny, and it gets all of the detail work and all that. And you just keep it in here. You can keep it in your fridge. You can even freeze it, but you can keep it in your fridge. Now, what I have here is a piece of lace, and here's the thing: you can do it with any kind of lace you want. This lace is that soft lace. I need to roll a piece out. Now, I don't have a brayer, and I never have, and I probably should, but I don't. And so there's that. So what I use, my mama used to say, any port in the store. I have a big old long piece of hot glue, and that works because, you know, it's a brayer, you know, something to roll it out with, a little rolling pin kind of a thing. That's all you need. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little, and you need to do this. Ask me how I know, because I did it and it didn't work the other way. You have to give it just a little tapping of cornstarch. And I just use a little makeup brush by Makeup from the Dollar Tree. Who else, right? Who else would I get it from? We're going to call this Make It Monday. That's my new title for Mondays. Make It Monday. All right, so you're going to take a little bit of Form Flex and just going to, it's got to fit. I did, spoiler alert, I did 1/2 of this whole thing earlier, so you don't have to sit and watch me do the whole thing. But anyway, I'm just going to push it down into the cornstarched lace. I'm going to keep it right there where it is. You don't want it bopping around because you want to get that imprint. You want it to be about 1/16 of an inch-ish. And what I did, once I got it about the size that I wanted it, let me just look at this back here. Yeah, I don't need a very big piece because I already did the whole front and the sides of this. So, all right. So I'm just going to push it down in, make sure I get a nice little imprint. You're not going to see a lot of it. You just need to kind of the illusion of lace on this. So this is what I'm doing. Did I get the illusion? I did. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a little bit of an imprint there. Okay, so I can just take this lace and set it aside. Now, what I'm going to do, I did the sides and this whole front earlier because it takes time, you guys, to do these little pieces. So what I did was this. I took the lace and I added some molds to it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just go ahead and finish this back side here. I almost want to lay it down on something soft because I don't want. This was done today, and I don't want to break it up. I put it on with Tight Bond, quick and thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay it in here like this and kind of gauge a little bit where I need to cut it. I'm going to use a scissor to cut it right even with, I'm going to cut it even with the edge because I can push it down and just smush it together. But I want to make sure that this piece goes over the edge like that. Over the edge of the inside of the bag. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm just going to kind of snip it off. And then I'm going to put some more of that Tight Bond on. And over here, we're going to, wherever it ended here, I'm going to cut it real close. And then I'm going to smoosh it together. Simple, right? Wasn't that hard. So the nice thing about FormFlex is you can just put it back on in the bag. Even if you've frozen it, you can still put it back in the bag and use it like that. All right, so we've got this little piece sort of kind of hanging by a thread, right? So we're going to take it off. Yeah, we're going to add some Tight Bond to it. So I'm going to add a little bit of Tight Bond to this. Tight Bond's getting low here. I got another one I can use. Okay, so I'm going to flip. I got this all the way to the edge. And here's the thing with Tight Bond. It's white, but it dries clear. So you don't have to worry about all of that. Once you get it off your fingers, you can kind of mold it to your piece. And there's a lot of workability time with this. So you don't have to rush. I'm just working it around the edge of the handle. We're going to cover that handle. We're going to paint the inside. But what I like to do here is kind of smush it and where the seams are, and then I go back in with a little wet finger. I get my finger wet. Okay, I'm going to cut it down here. Just kind of trim it. Do a little trimmy trim. Like that, all the way down. This particular batch was a little sticky. I don't know if it was me or what, but it was kind of sticky. I have a little bit of water here. I'm just going to spray it on this. This is just a silicone mold that I'm using the back of. I'm just going to spray it, and I'm going to go in with my finger and just kind of smooth it out where the seam is. You're really not going to see it much when we're done because I'm going to cover it with molds and all the pretties. A little bit more water. Just trying to make that little mold or that little seam just disappear. And you've got a little bit of lace going on back here. So this is what we got thus far. Oh, you know what? Forgot. I said I was going to trim this part here. It really doesn't need it hardly. Just a dab. All right, so this is what we have. It looks just like this, okay? However, if you have Prima redesigned molds, you're in business. If not, get you some molds, or even go on Amazon. This is a, I think I got this on Amazon. This is just a fondant mold that I got on Amazon, and I used this one right here, this second one from the bottom. I used that one right there on these little corners. See what I did here? I put the little corners in there. And then I took this rose mold that I have from my Prima redesign mold, and I made a bunch. I just make a bunch, and then if I don't use them all, I use them for another project later on down the line. But I made these little ones here, and I made a couple of little leaves, and I made a couple of the medium-sized ones, and I just set them aside over here. But I used them this afternoon on the front. I want to show you what I did and how I did it. And actually, I'm going to use right here on the sides. I made these. These are from this mold here. This is also a redesign mold. I made this little, it's like a little rose garland, and I've used this forever. I've used this thing for years, and I love roses, so I'm always making garland roses and stuff. But I'm going to use that little one right there, and I think I'm going to just add it to the side. I think it'll fit perfect. Yep, look at that. I didn't even measure it, but I just felt like it would fit. And if it didn't, I was going to cut it. But look at that. Look at that. It's like a perfect fit to add just a little more detail to this piece. So what I'm going to do, I just kept these out to show you. I typically keep these 3 stacked. I have another one here. I keep these 3 stacked in underneath my hot glue gun because it catches the drips, and it just peels right off, and I throw it away. But anyway, let's decorate this. I mean, I saw these purses, and I didn't know what I was going to do, but I bought 3 of them. Did you ever do that? You just go, you know what? You just look at something and you just know it's going to be cute. You don't know what it's going to be yet, but you kind of just know it's going to be something cute. And today when I was surfing, I saw these, and I said, I think I can. I thought I could, and look at that. Look at how cute that is. Or that little tiny mold just fit right on there. And you can just play with these till the cows come home. It's very forgiving, this craft. You know, I mean, this was $1.25 when I bought it. I don't know what it is now, if it's $1.50 maybe, or more. But these were $1.25 when I bought them. And I really like them. I really, really, really like them. They're so cute and so versatile. So many things you can do. I could think of all kinds of fun things you could do for the kids. For Valentine's Day, you can put some candy in there. Some, you know, of course, they always like money. Money always talks, right? Cash is king, Jim says. You can do like a Mother's Day, a sweet little Mother's Day. Put a little gift box in there, or some chocolates, or, you know, what else was it? Makeup. You can put your makeup brushes in there and put it in your bathroom. Make it bougie, right? This is kind of a shabby chic cottage vibe, which is my vibe. I love that vibe. So that is kind of how I decorate. There we go. How cute is that? I mean, it can only get cuter from here, right? And I love this tight bond because it's quick and thick. All right, how about that? So there we go. Isn't that cute already? So what we're going to do for the corners now, what I did for the corners was I made these little guys right here with that little mold I showed you. This one right here, second from the bottom. And I got that on Amazon, I believe. But you can find corner molds. You just type in the search on Amazon, and it'll come up. I may have to trim this one just a little bit because I put the first 2 on and didn't realize how long they were when they come up around the center. But I'm going to be careful. I'm going to try to let the 2 meet here. Flip this around. And, oh, yeah, right here. See, over here, they meet get that thing off my hand because it's stuck. Oh, come on. Be nice. You can kind of push it in a little. So that's the corner, and I may have to cut that little piece right there because I think it's going to end up being a little long. That's okay. That's where they're going to meet. The twain shall meet right in the middle. It's been sitting here for several hours, so I think it's dried enough that it wouldn't lose its shape even if I pushed it a little. I don't think. Very sweet. Very, very sweet. I mean, I could think of all kinds of things you could put in here. You know, like even a little gift of jewelry, some earrings or a little necklace or bracelet put in there. A ring. It would be a really cute gift for anything, for Valentine's, Easter. Put some jelly beans in it. Make it a little jelly bean basket. How cute would that be? Mom's Day. All kinds of fun things. I mean, seriously, a little birthday gift. If you know, have a little. Do you guys have a gifts on hand drawer at your home? My daughter always laughed at me. She would say when I would buy something, she go, "Why do you buy this?" I don't know. She goes, "Gifts on hand." I said, "Yeah, exactly. Oh, just a little something, something, you know, because I like to give gifts, and sometimes they come. These events come up on you quicker than you realize, and then you're without, right? So, all right, so these two here, these two ends have to meet here, and then I'm going to push it in a little bit, and I am going to cut it just a slight. Well, actually, I don't have to. Nope, I'm not. It totally meets where it's supposed to. Look at that. You just have to kind of push it around and smush it around. But this tight bond, it grabs quick and takes over rather quickly. So we're good. Let's see, right there. So we got two corners there. And then what I did with the other side was I took these little, I made little tiny flowers. Oh, shoot. Did I make not enough? I didn't. I have to make one little one. To go in the middle of this, there's like a little oval here. See right here, there's like a little oval. And I just put a little flower on that side. That's all. You know what I'll do? I'll just make the flower later so that we don't have to waste time making another. I made extra of these bigger ones here because I'm going to put this big one right at the top. Right here, we're going to just kind of smush it in like we did that side. Going to get it right to the edge, and what I did was I kind of like curled it over a little bit. Just kind of curled it. I think I have three. Do I have 3 flowers on this side? Yes, I do. I do. Okay. How did I stack that? Yep. I put this one on first. I added a good amount of the glue. Then the other two kind of overlapping, kind of smushed them together in a little trio. Like here. All right. Okay, so you can see a little of that lace underneath here. I don't know if you can see it better on this side. I think maybe you can. I'll put it up close. You see that little bit of lace embossing? Isn't this darling? I love this. This is so sweet, right? So cute. Okay, so what we're going to do with it. Oh, did I do both? I did. I did both sides of these. I was going to put a leaf in here or two. I might add that later. I'm just going to grab my Fusion Mineral Paint in Raw Silk because this is kind of a creamy color. We're going to do the inside in the Raw Silk. Might need a little more than that. Okay, so I'm just going to go in here and give it a coat of Fusion Mineral Paint in the Raw Silk so that it's not blue inside. Now, if you're going to use it for hard objects, I would suggest you resin the inside. If you're going to do that, I would give it a little coat of resin. If you're going to use it for hard things, and that would be really easy to do. Just, you know, pour the little bit of resin in there and roll it around. Just making sure that that you got some protection for your paint. Or maybe you could do it with, does it need to be resin? I wonder if you could do it with something like, what's that stuff called? I think I have it. It's up here. Hold on. What do we call you? Dirt Clear. Dirt Clear. Could we do it with Dirt Clear? Would that work? I bet it would. It would give it some sort of protection, I would think. Yeah, see, but this is pretty good. This Fusion Mineral Paint usually covers, like in one coat. There might be some spots that you can see still, but if you had to give it a second coat, it would be a quick, like Lick and a Promise coat. So you can kind of see how well that coats. So I'm just going to come up here. You can see how well it matches the clay too. This is called Raw Silk Fusion Mineral Paint. Let me point this down so I can get the insides here that I missed a little spot or two. Look at it. There we go. And this the clay doesn't have to be dry either completely to stain it or whatever. You can just kind of lightly dry it. And I mean, ideally it's nice if it's completely dry and hardened, but you could still do it. I've done it plenty of times where I've painted the clay and it's just been right out of the, you know, it's a brand new fresh casting. So but I see that it's got some shiny spots still. How pretty. I love this. Sincerely. I love it sincerely. Okay, so what should I do? Here's the thing. I need to know. Should I do ribbon? Should I do clay for this handle? Or should I do ribbon and pearl? I could do like a rope, clay rope. I think I'm going to do a braid. I'm going to do a braid. A pretty little, what do you call this? This Form Flex braid. And I'm going to grab one of these. See, these are so versatile. You can use them for your molds, and you can use them for your castings, and then you can use it for rolling out your whatever, rolling out the barrel. The braid can't be bigger than the handle. You know what I mean? It's got to be skinny. Not a braid, but like I'm just gonna make a rope and just loop it around. A lot, probably less than what I got here. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna start it, and then just you got to feed it through. Wrap it around the handle like that. I think it'll be cute. I can always add to it. I probably could have put a little bit of tight bond. It broke. That's okay. That's okay. Just a little dab of tight bond here to hold it in place. Here. It's squished right in down here, so I'm not going to mess with it. And then I'm going to add a little bit here and keep that braid rolling around. I'm going to have to add some more down the, just so it'll hold. Like that. goes with the whole soft, you know, kind of cushy look of the whole thing. I think it's pretty. It's not exactly not a braid, it's just a rope, right? Gotta make this good and thin like the rest of it. All right. Okay. It needs one more little coil at the bottom here. Yep. All right. I kind of like it, guys. Kind of liking it. It kind of looks like a soft pocketbook. I'll just keep making coils and coiling it around here.
Okay, since you already saw me do the first handle, we're just going to speed this up a little bit now that you've already seen the process done once.
Now I'm not going to be able to lift it from the handle tonight anymore. I have to be careful, but you can kind of see. This is the side where I put the roses in there, so it's more detailed, but it's cute, eh? Now I could put some pearls that I do have cut around there too.
And this is just the same process as wrapping the clay around the handle, so I'm just going to speed this up for you as well. You're welcome. And of course you have to do both handles, and I'm just using a little dab of hot glue to secure the pearls onto the clay. I think it really adds a nice accent to the handle.
Okay, that's pretty. I like it. I think I'll just use a Titebond because it works for everything else, right? I don't know. I think it's more. This is more for wood, but I think because it dries so quick and thick, I think it'll work if we put a handle on it, right? All right, let's just try. Let's see. I love this one. It was one of my favorite of all the cameos from Totally Dazzled. I just think it's so cute. What else was I going to do to this? I had a couple things laying here. I think that was it. The Quick and Thick went through the filigree and the little bit of lace around the cameo. So that's okay because, like I said, it dries clear. But it sure is pretty. It has like these kind of topaz looking, AB looking stones around it. And it lends itself to a very vintage vibe, I would say. So you can see it a little bit better. Isn't that pretty? I love this. This went from this to this. Isn't that cute? I love it. I think it's so sweet. And it really wasn't that difficult. It really wasn't. And the one that I saw on Temu actually just took, it looks like they took clay and they rolled it like I did for the handle. And they just put little pieces of it. So it almost looked like a quilted bag. And then they did all of the extras around it. And so instead of doing the lace underneath, which you see very little of, you could do that. You could do the quilting. It's just like little straight pieces of those snake. You just make a bunch of little snakes, and however long this is, make them those pieces that long and go all the way around, and then add your roses and all your corners and all of the things, and there's that. So anyway, but what I want to do in addition to in a dish, I had a story about that. You know I got a story, right? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. When my husband was younger and playing in a band with a bunch of the guys, and they were at the Dairy Queen, and so they were all ordering their ice cream. And one of the guys says to the girl, he put in an order for his girlfriend or whoever, and then he said, and he started to say, in addition, and he goes, in a dish, and she says, you can't have it like that. He goes, what? She says, you can't have it in a dish. He was going to say, in addition to that, I would like to order. She said, you can't have it in a dish. I thought it was hilarious. And we never quit talking about it. 100 years later, we're still laughing. In a dish. Anyway. All right. Get the getting, Susie. Quit messing around. Okay, so what we're going to do, just a little bit. Just a little bit. We're going to just put this in my dish. In a dish. Like this. And I am going to wet it like a lot. I don't want it not too much. Too much. Might even do this. Might even do this with a baby wipe, because I do not want it to be like stained, but I do want all these little nooks and crannies to come out, you know? Okay. Gotta stick it down in the water. Give me some water. Give me some water. Oh, I got water here. Duh. There we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create like a little, this. Call it whatever you want. This. I'm going to create a this. And I'm going to go in and dab. Dab, dab, dab. Oh, yeah. We're going to dab a little bit of this. This is just Waverly Dark Wax from Walmart. You get it from Walmart. And I'm just going to go over some of the high points on this. Now you can do this in gold if you want. You could, take your finger and go over it in gold. That would be pretty too, I think. But I just think this being antique-y and all, we needed a little bit of dark wax to wax on, wax off. And make it a little more vintage. Why? Because I can. Do it with a brush if you want. I feel like I have more control with this little baby wipe, because then I can go back in and wipe it off with the other side. Yeah. I do like that better. Oh yeah, that makes a huge difference. Oh, I love this so much more now. I really, truly do. All right. I will paint the bottom, of course, because it's blue. And anyway, I'll show you up close and personal. There we go. How cute is that cameo? I love it. I'm going to wipe that back a little bit more. I am. It looks darker in the camera than it really is, but it's really cute. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will give it a shot. Give it a whirl. Let me show you the other one that I started real quick. I took the white one I was telling you about, and all I did was it's got that basket weave, shiny basket weave, and all I did was I took my little paint pen here that I get on Amazon, and this is the AIYE, I don't know how to pronounce it, A. This is the A chrome marker from Amazon, AIYE chrome marker. Anyway, it's got this little tip and the fat tip, so I took the little tip, and all I did was go in and kind of did that. And then I'm going to go in where those little diamonds are, and I'm going to add some bling. And you know, maybe I'll hang a charm off the side and make it look bougie, you know. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. Thank you so much for being here. You could have been anywhere and you were here with me. Love you guys so very much.
Mi chiquita está muy feliz, ella baila sabrosito. Mi chiquita está muy feliz, ella baila con mi ritmo. Ella se ve, corre y nada.